I'm here for another Vlogmas video, and this time it is going to be a holiday treat video. I am going to be making Buckeyes. A lot of you might be looking at me like, what the heck is a Buckeye? Isn't that a nut? Well, technically it is, but they're also commonly known as peanut butter balls, and I make them every single year. I almost forgot about them this year until Ian mentioned it to me the other day. He's like, hey, are you gonna be making Buckeyes? And I totally forgot because I have just been so busy, so pregnant, and not thinking about that at all. But then when he mentioned it, I was craving it. But they're also, like I was saying, commonly known as peanut butter balls. I'm actually interested to see how many of you call them Buckeyes or how many of you call them peanut butter balls. So I will be leaving the eye in the sky. You guys can do the poll or leave it down in the comments below. And it feels so weird like doing this video in front of the camera, because usually with recipe videos I'm like behind the camera, but I'm switching it up for this video and I'm going to show you everything that you'll need. The good thing about making Buckeyes is that you don't need that much ingredients. Very easy to make. Really anybody can make them, and also you don't have to turn on the oven at all. There's no baking involved. The only thing that might be a little complicated that it took me a while to master is the melting of the chocolate, but I'll show you guys a trick that I do. So you're going to need a jar of peanut butter. This is 16 ounces, but the recipe calls for 12 ounces. You can pretty much eyeball it and you should be fine. And then also some vanilla extract. You're gonna be needing 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then a stick of butter. This is half a cup, and it doesn't, oops. It can be room temperature, but I'm gonna probably end up melting it. 16 ounces of milk chocolate chips, a pound of powdered sugar, which is also 16 ounces, and then also some toothpicks. This is kind of optional depending on how you like to dip your Buckeyes into the chocolate, but I like using toothpicks. And then also a mixer and mixing bowl. A lot of people have been asking me about this huge mixing bowl, and it's actually plastic, which I love because then the kids can help me and I don't have to worry about it breaking, and I got it at Target. And then you're also going to need some baking pans. I'm using this pie pan and this round pan because my freezer isn't big enough for a baking sheet, but if your freezer is, definitely go ahead and use a baking sheet to put your peanut butter balls on. And then also some wax paper so it doesn't stick to the pan. Now you can melt your chocolate however you want. You can do it in the microwave. I don't suggest doing that just because you'll have to keep remelting it. The easiest way is probably to do a double boiler where you have a pot of water boiling and then a pan on top, or a bowl on top to melt the chocolate. Obviously it has to be big enough that it won't fall into the pot, but what I really like using is this little dipper. This just came as a set with my crock pot. You can just plug this in and it will melt the chocolate. And my secret to getting really creamy chocolate is adding just a little bit of Crisco or vegetable shortening. It will also make the chocolate really shiny and more smooth. So I add just a little bit with my chocolate, and this is a lot easier just to dip the peanut butter balls in and then put them on the pan. They are so good. They are definitely a must during the holidays for my family. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video. They're very easy to make. You probably don't even need me to make this video, but I just wanted to share my recipe with you guys and how I make them. And I absolutely love, they actually make a whole bunch, so I love bringing them to like family dinners or for Christmas. Aria's hitting the tripod right now. They're also very addicting as well. I could probably eat 10 in a minute. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna mix 12 ounces of your peanut butter with your butter. Now you're gonna add your vanilla and your powdered sugar. Onwards ever go. Dasher and Prancer, moving through the snow on this cold December day. On this cold December day. Alright, so I'm just going to add just a little bit more peanut butter since it does seem on the dry side.
On this cold December day.
Alright, for some reason this light right here is making the lighting look so weird, but this is kind of the consistency that you want. So if you can form a ball about an inch or an inch and a half ball, pretty much whatever size you can make them smaller or bigger, however you want to make them, but if you can roll it into a ball like so, and it's perfect. So now I'm just gonna set them on top of my wax paper in my baking pans, and it does take a while because you have to use, well, you don't have to, but you do have all of this mixture to make as many Buckeyes as you want. So I usually just sit down, watch some YouTube videos, and just roll out a whole bunch of balls. And then after you are done doing that, you're gonna pop it in the freezer for an hour.
On this cold December day, we are on our merry way, riding along, just singing a song, barreling through the snow. Bells are jingling, snowflakes tingling, Rudolph knows where to go. On this cold December day, I am piloting my sleigh. The work to be done on my Christmas run is the most tired chore. No good.
Alright, so I got the chocolate all melted. It's nice and smooth. I pretty much just put the chocolate chips in here, let it melt, and once it started melting, I just added a little bit of the Crisco, and it's just made it really smooth and shiny. And now we're gonna take our Buckeyes out of the freezer, put a toothpick in it, and dip it in. Now this part is a little bit tricky, especially if you're working with a double boiler. So if you need, now I wish I could show you guys how to do the double boiler, but that's gonna be something you need to Google because this is a lot easier for me. Every time I do the double boiler, I always burn the chocolate somehow. So I definitely recommend using something like this, or definitely Googling or YouTubing the double boiler.
And it's gonna be so yummy.
It is. And I apologize guys, this whole time I've been so stuffy in this video from my cold. Alright, so now you're just going to take your toothpick. Now you could put them in before, but they'll still go in regardless. Just put it in the peanut butter ball, and I'm gonna try and work fast because I don't want these to get warm. So since these are supposed to resemble Buckeyes, we are not going to be covering all of them. We're just going to be covering about 3/4 of it. And I'm just going to dip it in and roll it around a little bit, tap off some of the extra chocolate, and then I'm just going to set it down and repeat. Guys, so here is the end result of the Buckeyes. Now you don't have to, but I kind of just smoothed it out on the top to make it look more like a Buckeye. That way the mark from the toothpick wasn't showing, but honestly it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, they're so easy to make. I make them every single year, and I still have so much more to make that I'm going to give to family. Also, don't forget to do the poll and let me know, do you guys call these Buckeyes or do you call them peanut butter balls? I'm really interested to know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Vlogmas video. This is probably going to be my last treat one for Vlogmas, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, Nolan wants to vlog.
What are you doing? Come back here. Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Hey.